It's time.
She's spilling the tea.
This is The Rumor Report with Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
Well, Lil Kim has a book coming out. It'll be out November 2nd, so I cannot wait to read the Queen Bee Memoir. And that's going to be exciting. She said, I'm excited to finally get to tell my story after all this time. Many people have thought they knew the story of Lil Kim, but they have no idea.
I'm here for everybody from the 90s, to write a book. I saw Raekwon doing From Staircase to Stage. Those 90s stories are amazing. That was a golden era in hip-hop. I want to hear all their stories, so salute to Lil Kim.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear Lil Kim's story.
I know. I got to get a copy of that book in advance. And it's also co-written by Kathy Ondoli, so she is a really well-known journalist in this business.
And I would love to see Kim on the Versus. I don't know who she would battle, but I would love to see her on the Versus.
Lil Kim versus Foxy Brown. That's the only one that makes sense.
That would be a good one. You saw, remember when Trina was saying she wanted to battle her?
That wouldn't make no sense.
Joke.
And I love Trina.
And
I grew up on Trina. That wouldn't make no sense, though. I want things that make sense. And that's the thing with Versus, too. Versus always has a great element to it when there's people who may have had some friction at one point.
Right.
You know, like Brandy and Monica, Gucci and Jeezy. Like, it'd be interesting to see Kim and Fox.
Yeah, they would have to squash it out. I guess to have a conversation kind of like Gucci and Jeezy beforehand.
If Gucci
But it's
and
also
Jeezy,
nice when people are cool with each other, too. Like watching Raekwon and Ghostface or Red and
yeah,
Matt.
it is, but it's called Versus, so to me, it's a better element when there's people that have just a little slight friction. You know it's a backstory. You know it's some history there. You know, it's good to see that.
All right, now Oprah is going to be on the Dr. Oz show today, and she's going to talk about her traumatic childhood and talk about things that she's never spoken about before. And ahead of that, there's been some videos dropping, and she talks about getting beat when she was young.
Grabbed a switch, and I got a really bad whipping for it. And when I put on my clothes to go to church, one of the welts from my back opened up and bloodied the dress.
Damn.
In addition, she talks about her grandfather being abusive toward her grandmother, and she gets very emotional as she's discussing.
My grandfather has his hands around my grandmother's neck, and she is screaming, and she manages to push him off of her. Cousin Henry comes down the road in the middle of the night to help my grandmother get my grandfather up off the floor. And after that, my grandmother put a chair underneath the doorknob and some tin cans around the chair. And that is how we slept every night. I always slept listening for the cans, listening for what happens if that doorknob moves.
Wow.
And these are things she's never discussed before, so should be pretty, very interesting for us to watch as she opens up about issues that she had from her childhood. All right, now we discussed the show Couples Retreat from VH1 yesterday and what Mendeecees had to say about Yandy and whether or not he would hold her down if the roles were reversed. If you didn't hear it, here's a reminder.
If the roles were reversed, would you hold me down?
If the shoes was on the other foot, I don't know what I will be able to do.
And that's so hurtful because people have said to me, you doing all this, would he do that for you? And I've always combated with, yeah, he would. We love each other. But to hear him sit here in my face and be like, I don't know.
Listen, I'm telling you the truth.
Like, that's so unfair.
She right.
Man, well, yeah.
She absolutely.
Yeah, she definitely held it all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
And he responded, though, yesterday. He said, "Good afternoon, Instagram. FYI, I never said I wouldn't have held Yandy down. I felt like I didn't want to say what everyone wanted me to say because it sounds good and salacious. What I meant was you don't know what you'll do until you're in that situation and they become your circumstances and you figure it out. I believe action speaks louder than words and love conquers all. And if anybody knows me, they know I love my family."
Yeah, I hear what he's saying, but no. It's great to be honest, but you're supposed to lie in that hypothetical situation, especially since Yandy held you down when you went in. Like, it's really just that simple.
I agree with you, but maybe he just wanted to be honest, and that was what first came to his mind.
Yeah, I respect that, but not in that
situation.
situation, especially after your significant other held you down when you was in.
Yeah.
Like, if neither one of them had held each other down, then yes, you might can answer that question in the way he did. But being that she absolutely, positively did, he has to lie in that hypothetical situation.
He has to lie.
Yes.
No, he has to really say,
That
yes, I
man's truth.
would.
But he should have lied.
Because the truth is, you don't know what you would do in a situation, but you can guesstimate, like, yeah, I would absolutely do that. Now,
I don't know what-
things happen and you don't, you know, but at least you feel like you would.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do in that situation, but I know that my woman held me down, so I'm going to give her back what the energy she gave me. And even if I don't feel like I would, I'm going to say it because she did it. Drop one of Clues bombs for Papoose, goddammit. All right? Salute to Papoose. Papoose showed us the way. When Papoose set a bar that high, us as men cannot be below that bar, Mendeecees. Salute to you, King.
I seen everybody getting on him. I seen Young Blue made a comment about it. I seen a couple of people did.
Young Blue?
Yeah. If I ever...
Oh, yeah.
All right, now Steve Carell, he is talking about what he did when he left the office on the last episode. He did an interview with Yahoo Entertainment. Well, no, actually, he didn't do an interview. Cast members Oscar Nunez and Kate Flannery did an interview with Yahoo Entertainment alongside the creator Greg Daniels, and they were all talking about filming the Goodbye Michael 2-part episode where Michael Scott, that's Steve Carell's character from The Office,
I was confused. I was
actually
like, who the hell
left.
is Steve Carell? I was so confused for a minute, but go ahead.
You didn't know Steve Carell is from 40-Year-Old Virgin?
I did not know. No.
He's probably top 10 white men of all time, bro.
I don't watch a lot of those movies.
Steve
Like,
Carell is-
I don't watch The Office.
You
I
never saw
watched-
40-Year-Old Virgin? You need to watch that.
No.
Steve Carell funny, bro.
I never watched it.
And The Office is an amazing, funny show.
Never watched it.
But
He's top 10 white men
All
of
right.
all time.
Pretty great.
all right. Anyway, they said that in that last episode, he gave everybody a Rolex watch. And, you know, Kate Flannery said, I still wear it. It reminds me of that amazing experience. So that's dope. What's the best gift you ever got leaving a job?
I ain't never got no damn gift for leaving no job. I thought I got no gift for leaving a job. Let me see, I've been fired 4 times from radio. I never got no gift for leaving
They
a
give
job.
you a gift? Like, you're
Nah.
fired, but here's a Rolex.
Nah.
Nah,
All right. Well, that is your rumor report.
What you get?
Nothing.
No.
But they didn't
Usually
leave
when
a
you
job,
quit, it's
though.
like-
They didn't leave a job. The show ran its course. Like, they...
Yeah, no. He left before the show. The show went on after Steve Carell left.
The Office?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, when I
For a
left,
long time.
when I left the other station, they didn't give me nothing. They actually was
Aw.
they was gonna try to escort
They
me out.
actually
But-
escorted you out, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they give you. They give you a free walk with HR.
Kinda, escorted me out.
They give you a basket to get your stuff out the office if you got anything in there.
But I knew I was leaving, so I packed my bags ahead of time. So I just was out. That's why I usually don't leave anything up here, just in case I gotta go. It's just
Same here. I don't even have an office. I don't even want no office.
Just in case.
I got PTSD.
Just in case the
from-
heat's coming around the
That's
corner.
right. I got PTSD from being fired 4 times. I don't even want no office up here. For what?
Y'all got all kind of stuff up in there. I just want to say.
But it's
all
all
right, well,
promo
that is your
material.
rumor report.
it ain't nothing that I.
And my headphones.
Yeah, that's the only thing I got is your headphones. All right, front page news next. What we talking about?
Yes, let's talk about everything that's happening with Breonna Taylor. We'll give you some updates also on releasing footage and why that's not going to happen right now.
All right, we'll get to that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.